Poop?
Once you understand poop, you'll understand your place at the Krusty Krab. But what does poop mean? It's actually a carefully organized code. Watch closely. People order our patties.
Ah, poop!
Looks like Mr. SquarePants understands poop.
We're back, everybody. It's episode 20 of The League Has Spoken. We are here to recap week 2 of Survivor 50, where not a lot happened, everyone stayed clean, and there was absolutely no drama at all. Here to break down this absolutely bonkers episode are my co-hosts, the incomparable, the brilliant Brianna Finlayson.
Woo!
You know her, you love her, and someone I'm just very proud of in general is Kyla Merson.
Wow.
Compliment every week. Thank
Love
you.
that. Love the love.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you why, but I am. Joining us live, one of our special contributors to do a live segment later, as well as help lead us through different parts of the episode, is Mikey Calabrese.
Whoop whoop.
Thank you.
And much like a disease that you can't get rid of,
Oh my God.
all the way back from episode 1, the cause of much drama in our group chat today, Greg.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, normally we'd probably jump right into the episode, but I feel remiss not to bring up why Greg and my mom have been beefing in this group chat so much, including but not limited to the AI background behind Greg. I also feel compelled for some of our viewers that have a hard time knowing the difference between AI and real life that I have not actually kicked Mulcahy in the head. Certainly not with those pants on. There's not a lot of stretch in those jeans, it looks like.
That's the most identifiable part of the making it AI is the fact that those pants would be tearing.
Tearing.
For me, it's something about your face. I just couldn't put my finger on it.
Is it that Mulcahy looks like a space cadet?
Not his face, your face.
I look like I really hate him.
Yeah, I just
Is that
can't.
a real picture of Mulcahy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Greg.
it's direct from his Facebook page.
Okay. Because that looks real. He looks real. But Pat's way too tall to be kicking him in the head. That would way.
No,
he'd be
I
flying
think I'm
around.
jumping off the ground in that photo.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
There's some
catching
elevation.
air.
Sure, yeah,
Airbud
there we
over
go.
here.
Sorry about that.
Which begs the question, which we won't spend time on. Who is short enough that I could kick in the face? Brie.
Me.
Kyla. Oh,
Kyla.
Wow. Anyways, this feud, I was thinking about this today, Greg. This goes back to, and this is me playing the long con, all the way back in episode 1, and when we were before season 49 had even started. I made you come on and play a game called Fire Making or Sanctuary, something we've played recently as well.
Yes,
And
I
I
recall.
think what happened is you sent my mom to Sanctuary or to Fire Making. And then the next week when Mikey and Kyla joined us, she had me put your face over that video of Philly Karen, and we're still having an argument about it, is what's happened.
Yeah, I didn't forget about that. I just want Heidi to know that.
That's amazing. Because when we did that bit, I had hoped that someone's gonna get themselves in trouble, but I couldn't have imagined that almost a year later, we have Greg and my mom sending AI photos of each other back and forth. This is incredible. Anyway,
And me somehow catching a stray with 50 ferrets.
oh yeah.
Can I ask why the ferrets?
I just was cracking up to myself today. I couldn't
About
stop.
ferrets?
Yes.
And it's ironic because I actually hate ferrets. I detest them and they freak me out. So it's just like that was even better.
My stepdad had ferrets when him and my mom started dating, and I used to
Weird.
hold them
Plural?
up and make them go to sleep. It was kind of fun.
Wait, what?
Is that torture? I
I
don't know.
You
I don't know.
dropped that bit of lore about Kyla, like we just glance over it.
Yeah, he had two ferrets.
Mm. At least they
Well,
had I feel like you can't have a singular ferret. You have to
No, they
have at
have to
least
I
have
two.
each
actually
other. Yeah,
I
exactly.
know someone that did have a singular ferret.
Well,
Did they
they
hate their
died pretty
lives?
closely together.
Because ferrets, as we all know, mate for life. All right, we'll have to
Yes.
save. We'll
Moving
save the
on.
rest of this
They were
for
both
our.
male,
We have to save the
but that's
rest of
okay
this for
too.
our ferret
Love is
fantasy
love.
league. We gotta keep going. Let's just do it. Let's throw up the spoiler warning now. I don't know what's happening. All right, so we are starting the episode with a recap, mostly given by Genevieve, of how Kyle tore his Achilles, unfortunately, and has had to be medevaced. And it's a really emotional bit, and I think Genevieve really articulated well. I was very impressed by her, and not at all because I have her on my team, and I'm going to be Team Genevieve, ride or die this season. I just thought she did a great job, like articulating how much a loss like that means. Because she's right. When you're sitting at home, it feels like you've known him for like in our minds 3 hours. It's like not that big of a deal.
Mhm.
In that montage, Q and Colby start making an oddball couple, and they're gonna bring in Rizzo.
Mhm.
I know Mikey has thoughts on that.
I do. I do. Because I just personally really liked how Rizzo was self-aware in that moment and his confessional saying, "Oh, I was the low man and the oddball out before Kyle left, so this is my time to slide in." Like at least he wasn't like, "Oh, like boom, I'm in this big alliance." Like no, he recognized that, "Oh, thank God Kyle's ankle completely blew to parts because now I'm actually a number." So I'm at least happy that he's not that unaware of his surroundings. But I will say is obviously Q and Colby strategically did it to be like, yeah, because we need someone to vote our way. Please and thank you. We got nothing.
Mm. I wrote in my notes. I was like, "Is Rizzo the new Andy from season 48?" Just starts the season by like, "Colby, you come to me for help, and I refuse to do any work," and all of a sudden he's just like in with everybody for no reason.
I think it does. I feel like the rest of that alliance gives up on him not even 20 minutes later into the
Yeah.
episode.
When
Yeah, they
he
know what it
won't,
is.
We made a mistake.
Yeah, they know what
yeah,
it is.
and Q loses his mind.
Poor Q.
My favorite part of this whole scene was actually like the juxtaposition between Genevieve being so down and talking about how she absolutely cannot even think about talking about strategy. And then it just goes straight to Q being like, strategy, 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 strategy. That cleared my head. And he's like on a whole nother note. It was kind of funny.
Being like, it was emotional, so I had to go to work.
Yes,
It's like, yes,
exactly.
good job, Q. Good. Wow, thank you.
Well, the editors after that bit, you could tell they asked themselves, that was a really emotional scene. How do we move on, get the viewers back on board? We just lost someone's favorite player.
Enter the Q skirt.
What's the best way to lighten the mood? And does anyone want to take a first crack at what happens next?
Oh,
Whoopsies.
Christian.
Code
Greg,
Brown. Code
Greg,
Brown.
Greg, will you be our senior shit pants correspondent?
We had a little bit of a Code Brown situation.
It's it was when it was when he walked away and they had to blur his pants.
I liked when
Well,
Joe
no.
was like, I think he might have pulled his back out. Like he was trying to reach for the fire, he pulled his back out, and then Christian was like, I've got something to attend to. And Joe was like, oh,
Did it happen when he bent over to tend to the fire,
I
or
think
like,
so.
right? Like because he
Like-
was fully
Like he blew
standing
too
up,
hard on the fire and is like,
right?
oh,
Just completely slipped out, right? Like, oh, and
oh
the
my
fact,
God.
my biggest note Why did it take that man like 5 minutes to change his pants? He walked down to the beach. He comes
You're
back
not
for
gonna
his
wanna
stuff.
see
Walks
this.
into the ocean.
He walks
You are
back.
not gonna want to see this.
Like, brother, run. I need more hustle out of you. Like, I need
Mhm.
it to come off. Like, no, we're not standing around in
We
it.
need a Richard Hatch. Rip those pants off.
Right,
Clean up the
please.
He needed
situation.
to go full hatch.
Could you imagine a full blowout? Oh my God.
I don't have to. We
Good thing
saw it.
No,
it was
like
good thing it was
Richard
pants,
Hatch
but-
style.
Oh, if you had asked me before the season who of these people is most likely
Mm.
to
Blowout?
go full hatch, Christian would have
Oh.
been last on the list.
Very dead last, actually.
And by hatch,
Mike
we just
White
mean
would be
naked.
first.
Fully naked, yeah.
Okay.
Mike
Yeah.
White
And
would be first.
invading the IRS, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
100%. White Lotus is yep. You already know he enjoys it on camera, so he might as well just do it for
I think
everyone.
Ozzy would definitely get naked too.
Oh yeah.
Another one who
I would have
enjoys it
guessed
on
him
camera.
first.
Right?
Yeah. Again, we should say.
I took a lot of quotes from these scenes were just so
Please.
good. The turtle head poked out.
The unexpected evacuation.
Yes, Christian calling it gastrointestinal distress. I just was laughing the whole time. I will go down in the history of people whose pants have been unexpectedly discolored in Survivor's history.
What he said was, "I'm joining the Pantheon of Survivor players." As if there's some sort of coliseum with just marble columns and just halls of photos of people, and then next to those
Right,
photos
I
is
poop
their
myself.
pants.
Yep.
I'm dead. My wife's divorcing me.
The fact that he went from last week being like, I have a newborn son. My son's gonna watch this
Now
someday.
he's like, let me show you how you do it.
Right, this is how you do it on Survivor.
Oh, okay.
It was when
I'm a little disappointed that no one came over to him and gave him a high five or something. They all just snickered as he
They really watched him
trudged
run.
back.
that full scene's on Instagram. Like it's on the internet now.
Yeah, he is forever.
He was like, the details of this prior experience are for me alone. They're for all of
For
us,
me
actually.
and me alone.
They're for you and me and everyone on the show. That was incredible. Really, really turned the mood around because I was legitimately bummed out, and I'm still smiling thinking about this.
Will say my only fault to this is that the most entertaining part of the episode was to me the first 15 minutes because of it.
It sets a high bar.
It
Yeah.
did.
How do you
It
beat
set
that?
it set too high of a bar.
And Brie, last week you talked about Joe's pants debacle, so I wonder if we'll continue with this.
Oh, you mean
trend.
Colby?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Colby. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I've been picking up on
Yeah,
people's
it
pants.
was
I'm scouting.
We'll get to this after the reward challenge.
Oh.
But much like Genevieve in this bag search, Brie was just too early for the poop your pants call. She was like, I think someone she knew. She could feel the rumble in the winds. All right. Does anyone else have anything to say about Christian pooping himself?
No. We might have to move on to the next segment as quick as he had to move on to his next pair of pants.
You mean, and by that you mean slowly shuffling into the ocean?
But slowly shuffling, going back for more, then turning back around. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, guess what? This week we had not one, but two challenges. We get our first in episode 2, which is early. We get our first reward only challenge. All right. Now, before we get to the actual challenge, which Kyla's going to help walk us through, some things happen on the docks that I think are important to discuss. They pull up and they do their usual, get a look at the new Sela tribe, or whatever the orange tribe name is, and Jenna's not there, and everyone's like, oh, that's crazy, but also, like, that was my guess. And then the purple tribe, or fuchsia, sorry, Brie. Fuchsia tribe.
Magenta.
I'm calling it
Magenta.
pink today. I'm calling it pink today.
Whatever.
Yes. Thank you all for the support.
The Q's tribe. pulls up and Kyle's not there, and everyone realizes what happens, and I think they understand it, but it's obviously sad. Camilla starts crying, and I felt really bad. She, much like Genevieve earlier, gives like a maybe not as articulate, but a good speech about how, it's one thing to get voted out, but it's another thing to like, he only got to do one challenge. Like
Yeah.
he didn't leave because he played a bad game or whatever. He left unfairly. Which I thought was appropriate. And so did Coach. And by that, I mean, Coach took this moment to make it entirely about himself. He's like, speaking of tearing your Achilles, I also had some slander put against me, which is not even the same category. And he walks everyone through his version of the events of that challenge where he's like, I played honorably. All I did was steal something. And Ozzy, like, I forget, I wish I wrote down what Ozzy said, but Jeff cut to Ozzy, and he basically was like, threw Coach under a truck. What did he say? Did anyone write it down?
It was Ozzy spoke immediately after Camilla, right? And then goes over to Coach. Coach brings it back, and Coach says, "I've played this game the way that I always have." And Ozzy was like, "You absolutely are playing this game the way you always have." And Ozzy's not wrong.
Yeah.
Ozzy is not wrong in the slightest.
Where do you guys stand on this Coach taking the key thing? Because I have a slightly different take than I think some other people have, but I want to hear what you guys think first.
And I will say, I don't know if I would have done what Coach did, but I don't think what he did was cheating. I think there's a difference between the two. It was not cheating. And he never did make the promise. I think he's playing himself, and if you don't like Coach, then you're not going to like the move.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good take.
Yep, perfect. Spot on.
Yeah.
As someone who
Go ahead.
As someone who works in college athletics with head coaches, let me just say I'm not surprised at the way Coach acts. He is not lying because he never agreed to it. But like everyone in the competition knows that like if Ozzy wasn't on that beach, Coach ain't getting that key.
Yeah.
So like, like give credit where credit is due, but like I agree in like the legality of it, right? Is like Coach never agreed to what Ozzy proposed, so like he doesn't look like he's lying or cheating, but like at least like give the credit that Ozzy's the whole reason that we got supplies, If you want to play with honor and dignity, like that's the honorable thing to do is admit like, yeah, Ozzy's the one that got the key.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with the move. My problem is him, kind of like you guys said, running around like I did the most honorable thing. I think if he just said, listen, I didn't agree to it and I wanted the stuff for my tribe, it's cutthroat, but I'm being honest with you about why I did it, they'd be like, yeah, that sucks.
Exactly.
But I get it. But don't hide behind like you did the most virtuous thing. Like just be honest about you wanted to play cutthroat. I think Ozzy would be fine with that. But I think because he was like, I'm the best. It's like, well,
exactly.
Own it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Own it.
Yep.
Anyway, who also has strong feelings about this is Megan, which brings us to this week's Tea Time with Megan.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to week 2 of Tea Time with Megan, where we dig into some of the behind-the-scenes tea of what happened on Survivor this week. So, we have a lot to cover this week. I think we are going to start with one of my favorite storylines because we've been really leaning into the rivalry of Ozzy and Coach. Now, you guys, if no one knows, well, there's going to be spoilers here. So, if you have not seen any previous seasons and you don't want them spoiled, don't watch this. But we need to get into the lore of why everyone is leaning so heavily into this rivalry with Ozzy and Coach. So, as an Ozzy stan, Ozzy is my favorite Survivor player. I know that's controversial, but he's my favorite. I'm well versed in this topic. So, here's essentially the breakdown, so in case anyone wanted to know. Basically, Coach and Ozzy both were brought back on season 23 for a Redemption Island season. So they both come back. There's a bunch of new casts, so that everyone else is new players, and then they both are on a tribe. And Ozzy doesn't do well on his tribe. He gets voted out. And he goes to Redemption Island. Now, the way this is set up is really set up for the type of player like Ozzy, because you get sent to Redemption Island, and then you just keep going and doing individual immunity challenges against the other person who gets voted out. So if you win, you get to stay. Like we know, Ozzy, challenge beast, so he thrives in that environment. So he gets brought back. Coach, who we know, who Coach loves to say it, that he plays with honor and integrity. He is an honest man. So Coach tells Ozzy when he comes back, I want to go to the end of this game with you. I want us to be sitting at Tribal Council, Final 3. If I want to win, I want to win against you, man. And Ozzy's like, okay, sounds good. Like, you got it. Sounds good. Coach even says, I'm a Christian man. I'm giving you my word. Perfect. Ozzy thinks he's set, 'cause he's like, if we go to Tribal, I'm winning. Well, shocker, Coach figures out that if Ozzy goes, he's going to win. So Coach does not bring him and ends up voting him out. This is pre-fire making, so he votes him out. So Ozzy calls him out, during the jury. This is when the jury kind of got to clap back at the people during Final Tribal. So Ozzy is like, you're a liar. You're not a man of your word and everything. And Coach has been holding on to that grudge for 15 years now. So fast forward, you see them on episode 1, we see that they make up for it. They're like, it's a long time. Like, we're just going to play a new game. No hard feelings. They move past it. They go do the journey. And what does Coach do? The same stuff he always does. I'm honest and a man of my word. And then he cheated. Which, listen, this is Survivor. I'm not saying he couldn't cheat and take the key, but he says that he's a man of his word and honor and everything, which is really funny because in my opinion, I feel like actually Ozzy is a very honest and loyal character. But anyway, so then we start up this whole drama again. So now they still have their rivalry going hot and heavy, which is what we can see at the beginning of episode 2. And it even goes so far as Coach tweeted this week before the episode AI photos of him slaying a dragon named Oscar. Why does he hate Ozzy so much? He also said that stealing the key just felt right. And so Coach has been tweeting nonstop about his hatred for Ozzy, and I will say it adds a lot of drama to the show that I'm here for, but I am an Ozzy stan and a #1 Coach hater. So if you wanted the background and the lore on that, now you know. Also, at the beginning of the episode, we get something that I've never seen on Survivor. Poor Christian. Poor Christian, man. I don't even know what to... Listen, I'm not saying that this hasn't happened before, but I understand. I kind of get it. You're probably messing up your stomach so much. You go from eating normal meals to just eating coconuts. I'm sure that puts a toll on your stomach. But I was trying to find if this has happened before, and there's some people on Reddit that have said, this person, Chet did, or Fishbach did from this season. But there was nothing confirmed. So to my knowledge, this is the first full edit that has happened on Survivor of someone their pants. So I'm sorry, Christian, that you were the first one to do that. I did find out though, Sophie B from season 49 was asked about it, and she did confirm that in this situation, they will give him new underwear and pants. So don't worry, Christian will have new clothes and not have to have his poop stained pants to wear for the rest of the time. She said that actually halfway through the season, they give you, because, they lose so much weight that their underwear and bras and stuff don't fit them anymore because they lost so much weight. So she said actually halfway through the season, she got a new set just because hers were too big, and they kind of tatter them up and get them dirty so that it actually looks like, the same thing. So she was just assuming that they gave Christian a new one. So don't worry, everybody. He's okay.
All right, I'll cut that in here. All right, the only other thing to say, since Megan wrapped that all up so beautifully, and she did mention the whole bit about Christian and Christian's pants, this is where we see that he's now wearing a plaid. It's not shorts, but it's not pants. It's also not capris. It's some in-between hybrid.
And it's not cute.
No.
It's most importantly, it's not cute. So we get to the actual challenge now. So the reward is going to be hammocks and a tarp, which was pretty good. It's
And I'm sure Angelina was happy.
yeah,
Oh,
and
they did actually. Did you see the camera cut to her? She literally turned and said, "Ooh!" She was very excited. And I was like, "Wow, full circle. Okay,
If
good
you
job,
know, you
editors."
know.
Right.
yeah. So the description of the challenge before we get to Kyla's going to lead us through how it goes is that they're going to leap off this giant tower in the ocean, smash a plate to like get a key, which is like the pinnacle of Survivor water challenges. They're gonna swim out, do a whole bunch of balance beams, some straightforward, some like leveled. Then more people are gonna go basically do the same thing but get rings, and then there's gonna be a ring toss. It's like it's not very complicated, but it's pretty exciting. Which brings us to what actually happens. So Kyla, if you would take it away.
Okay, so first up for each of the tribes, we have Joe for orange, Mike for blue, and Colby for pink. They're going to be the first to smash and grab that key, then go across the balance beam. And then, as Pat said, they have that harder balance beam that kind of goes up in levels, and then they jump. And for some reason, Colby's just a little behind. So immediately Pink starts slipping. We already have Ozzy and Tiffany in the water before Colby's even done. I'm not sure what happened here. I thought he had been doing pretty well so far. But at this point, both orange and blue are neck and neck, with pink continuing to kind of run behind the whole time. And I would say in general, on this part where they're smashing the key up until Aubrey, everyone does okay, except Colby's taking too long. And I think Stephanie takes a little long on the beam. Everyone
Yeah.
else pretty much is doing okay. The last person has to go under and release these rings, and Savannah does it. She kind of does it flawlessly. I've seen a lot of people kind of talking about this on the internet. And then I keep forgetting Jonathan's name, so in my notes I keep calling him Aquamarine Hulk Hogan, of a man dives down to get the rings for blue. Meanwhile, embarrassingly, Aubrey is still attempting over and over to try and smash and release the key. So Pink is already behind, and this just puts them even further behind.
Which,
so finally,
if I could interject, is
yes,
your
interject.
challenge gif of the week is it was going to be Jonathan diving like face first off of the thing because that was crazy. No one ever does that, but he was like, I'll do a high dive for real. Aubrey just straight Charlie Browns it, just misses wholeheartedly. If you go back, I want you to know, if you go back to the trailer for season 50, there's a shot of this challenge and it's focusing on Savannah running across the balance beam. It's not a shot they use in this episode, but in the background of that commercial, Aubrey just drops like just right in the background.
It looks like she was like, if you take that image, it looks like she was like ready to like crawl across the floor and someone just like pushed her off. Like she's
Yeah.
like very just like knees tucked in. I don't know.
It's like
Again,
a
whoever
cat
taught
falling from a tree or
my
something. I
note
was
is she looks like, you know, the 46 Mariah. Do you remember her? How she had to get lessons on how to jump from her
Yes.
tribe, and how Q called Mariah Aubrey for a reason. Well, here is our reason, everyone. They are way more similar. Aubrey clearly doesn't know how to jump either.
It
Now,
was
This
and
is the
just to correct myself, right? She only did it twice, right?
she only did it twice, but
But
it felt like a
took
year.
so long because she had to get
well,
down and
because
climb
she
back up,
knocked the
and
wind out of herself on that first one when she landed
yeah,
at the belly
And then
flop.
like the ladders are on opposite sides of your platform too. So it's
it was
Yeah.
a
just
We
whole
not.
haven't
endeavor.
seen.
It was reminiscent of when Kevin in season 48
That's what I was
tried
gonna
to
say.
jump off. Sorry, Brie. I beat you to it. All right, Kyla, keep going.
All right, so now we've got Aubrey's finally at those beams, but orange and blue are already down there aiming for their targets, and already have a few on their targets. So Genevieve is getting the rings for pink. She does a pretty great job. At this point, blue and orange already have a few. Coach is going for blue, and we got
Evans.
Devers. Devon's throwing for orange. I'm sorry, did I say Q's throwing for pink? Yeah. So Orange Tribe pulls out this first win, with blue having two on the target still, and pink is just starting to toss. Obviously, blue ends up winning, because pink just couldn't couldn't catch up to that one. Any thoughts there?
I have a thought. Well, it happened during the balance beam, but I just want to say it. We got almost another. That's how you do it, and then
Yeah.
it didn't
Just
finish.
cut
And I
right.
was ready to erupt into like cheering, and it got taken away.
You
I just
did.
want to say that
In
because
fact, she stood up off the couch and was like halfway up and then sat back down.
Haven't we gotten like 2 or 3? That's how you do it
Yes.
this season
Yeah, but
already.
not a
Just not the
full-
full thing.
So far in
Not the
every
full thing.
challenge, like for the first 3
Yes.
challenges, like marooning, immunity, and then this reward. Literally, that's how you do it, or that's like starts with that's how, and then just nothing.
what a tease, honestly.
And
You
Brie,
know-
what did you say that was 2?
It was. I
didn't
think
write that
was
down.
it Ozzy running across the balance beam?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was Ozzy's balance beam. Yeah.
He does
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
twice. You know what we did get out of Jeff though during this challenge is him screaming about how ripped Mike White is. He was, and
Yes.
there's the new and improved ripped Mike White. Oh my God! It's like,
I
oh
think
my God, Jeff, get it
It's like
together.
kindred spirit. You
I
know,
have
like
to-
Jeff sees himself like, he's like, oh, I'm like that too.
I'm
you know?
old.
I'm old, but I'm also jacked. So like, I hope someone like, if I took my shirt off,
True.
someone gave me credit.
Yeah, that's true. I really enjoyed the swim out too of this challenge. I don't know. They were like Devon's. What is it, guys? Is it Devon's or is it Devers? Can you please
It's
correct
Devin.
me?
Devin.
You're the only one that has trouble
Yeah,
with
with
this.
an N.
I know it's just me.
And how
He did
many
something
other?
funny.
Oh, what did he do?
I don't know. I just liked their swim out. It was just entertaining.
Oh, okay. Well,
Back to
sorry.
Coach's quote. So sorry, I'm just
Yes,
not remembering
that's
this. Is
what
my
I was
note.
gonna say.
Yes.
No, you
I
go
could
for
see it
Bree,
in your
if you
eyes
have the
you wanted to
quote
do this.
because I this quote pissed me off.
Okay, so I don't know if I'll get the quote exactly right, so I might need you, Mikey,
That's
to
all right because
recite
he
it.
didn't get it right.
I got
either.
it.
He said
He
that
definitely didn't get it right.
the adversary of my enemy is my adversary.
No, he said yesterday's adversary is tomorrow's enemies. Today's enemy is tomorrow's adversary.
And
I think
That's
we
the
need to get
same thing.
a thesaurus.
first-
for
the
Coach,
first
right.
thing I said when that happened was, I'm sorry, what?
Right. And I think the best part is that Sari then uses the correct form of adversary later on in the episode. And I was like, thank you, editors, for being like, here's what happens when an educated person uses proper vocab. Like, I it's just like, Coach, you literally just said the same thing over and over again.
It was very Michael Scott.
Very, very Michael Scott, but not scripted for comedy. So
That was
Coach is being so serious.
Scripted for Coach.
He could not. He could not. You could tell how unaware of what he was saying he was as it was coming out of his mouth.
It just all went. It's been going downhill for Coach. Unfortunately, we're gonna get into more of how it just keeps going down.
We are.
I hope Coach continues with these botched phrases the rest of the season. I think it'll be hysterical.
That's the best thing is I want him to stay around because he's insane.
Right. Pure
Yes.
entertainment.
I just want we got to get him and Q on the same beach, please. What?
No,
Who do I have to pay to get that to happen?
Mikey's like, protect the sanctity of Q while he still has his normalcy
He's
left.
been playing. He is sane. He is a week into this game and he has not flipped yet. Leave Q alone.
All right. Well, let's go to Q then. We get back from the challenge, and Purple is drinking sour coconut milk, which if only they could have talked to the Orange Tribe, because I would gamble that Christian would have warned them about that. And the most important thing here is that Genevieve clocks Aubrey being a weirdo. The biggest hint was probably when Genevieve talked to her last week and was like, "Do you want to work together?" And she just stared at her wide-eyed like a freak. And so they all work together to go through her bag. What Genevieve was like an animal. She was just like, she took stock of where everything was. It was really impressive. It was unfortunately about 30 minutes in the episode too early. But the only reason I bring this up, well, besides later, obviously, it comes into play that they were just too early. But did you catch Q's like, I'm going to be the lookout guy?
Genius.
And
so smart.
Yeah, and his signal was just going to be like, hey, she's coming, everybody. Look normal.
Literally was just going to scream, let's go. Where are we going, Q? What are we doing? Like,
but the thing is, that weirdly works because if Q came to me and was like, let's go, I'd be like, all right, let's go.
Right, yeah, like, what are we cheering for? Right. It's true.
I didn't even think twice about it.
Well, also, like, how Aubrey, what confused me was that this girl was bringing her bag everywhere she went. And then they're going to be like, oh, well, Stephanie's just going to ask her to go have a conversation, and the bag gets left. Like it just seemed awfully strange that Genevieve's like, oh, she's bringing her bag everywhere. Like that's what's making
And
it
also,
suspicious.
everywhere was one cut of her going to the water well.
She like goes to the water well and like goes back to like main camp with her bag.
Yeah.
It's
They're like, that's
right,
so
well,
weird.
right. I don't know. That part was strange. Also, like to me, I was just like, that's like the to me, that's the biggest risk of like you're running of day 6, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go snoop through someone's stuff. Unless you're like Jawan and you're just, not the brightest bulb taking people's bags unknowingly, but Genevieve's a little too smart to get away with that lie.
So, more on that to come, because we moved to the Blue Tribe. Jonathan's going to go fishing, and Coach is like, you know what? Aquaman's going out with all the fishing equipment. I feel like I could equally contribute to this man who's caught like 20 fish in the palm of his hand. Like, we don't need you to do this. And Coach cramps so badly. And it's revealed to us by Jonathan that they have like safety swimmers, which I saw Mitch online from season 48. You remember Mitch couldn't swim and they were going to teach him to swim? He was like, I didn't know they had safety swimmers. I would have tried to swim instead of being sad on the beach.
Let me take free swim lessons.
Yeah, he was like, this is news to me that I was safe the whole time.
I kind of think swimming should be a Survivor requirement.
I do think so as
that's
well.
just me.
I mean, it has to just be extra like pages of waivers that they sign, but
it's just like now you just like can't participate in swimming challenges. Like what?
Yeah, well, I mean, they let Liz on with her 80 allergies, so I don't know. They just let everyone do whatever.
This is true. So, Coach cramps, and they got to pull. He's cramps so bad they got to pull him into the boat, and it cuts to Coach being like, "Oh God, thank God Jonathan was there to save my life." What about the people that saved your life?
Actually saved your life.
All right. Jonathan did was like, I'm gonna keep fishing, but do you guys want to come over here and help him real quick? And he's like,
he could have easily pulled Coach in. Easily. We've seen him throw people over walls.
He probably could have thrown him to shore, honestly.
I really liked the cutaway where Coach finally gets back to shore and he is like hobbling and there's just an impaled fish on the thing. And he's like, this has been a really tough day for me. And it's like, the fish is like,
Charlie's like, oh, you need water. Let me get you water. Oh, that's a big fish. Like, Charlie, stop. Just like laugh at him, please.
And then
laugh at him.
Dee's like, look at this guy. He's full of holes. It's amazing. Yeah,
that was the start of the episode. Dee hates Coach.
Mike,
it evolves.
Mike White even goes, he looks like a bug in a pool. So we move over to the Orange Tribe, where Savannah decides to lie about her advantage again to Devins. And she's like, did anyone believe me? And she was like, and Devins was like, absolutely not. And she's like, well, I really didn't get anything. Well, I feel like, anyway, who cares?
That was the chance.
Devins then gives a quote. This is going to come up again later, but Devins gives a quote about how boring honor integrity is in regards to Joe, but the way he worded it was basically just taking a big old Christian-sized poop all over the entirety of season 48. It was I didn't check online because online Survivor is toxic, even though we're a part of it now, I guess. But I'm sure it made all of them happy. Because that was the big problem everyone had with that season. And then that leads to a conversation at the water well between Christian, I think Devins and Sari of Bree.
Of creating a Jotation. And how they're all going to spend time with Joe to soothe his anxieties around potentially being voted out or any wrongdoing after the whole issue last week with walking away from him during the conversation, and he didn't know what was going on with Savannah and Devins or Devers, however you call it. So they're creating a Jotation, and they all commit to.
I'm sorry, I'm just mad that Kyla's successfully making it a thing.
Yeah, so they're all going to spend some time with Joe. This comes back into a much more robust thing in scene 2. With a therapy session and some rocking, but we'll get to that later. Because there's something very interesting that happens at this point, which is that Christian has his opportunity to find the boomerang idol, and he is amped, and he's talking about how he could send it to and someone who he wants to play with, someone who he wants to backstab, and that whole dynamic of who's going to be getting the boomerang idol, and somehow he chooses none other to my demise than Aubrey Bracco, and he's like, Godspeed, Aubrey Bracco.
It's watching him decide to himself, just like not even full sentences, just like mumbling. It was very like a Beautiful Minds. Rain Man, just like he was
Yes.
out of control. He's like, we can do this. He was like, it was like the Green Goblin talking to himself, losing his mind.
There was 100%, like, it was happening outside of his brain. Like, he could visualize the people's faces. It was a moment for sure.
I love
I'm
that
glad
sequence.
that was singular cameraman got to watch that all take place, because they were probably like, what is happening in
So we think he settled on someone who he like
wants
he's
to work
signaling
with.
to want to work with, right?
Yeah.
That's
Because
what
he
I'm
went through
under the
a
assumption
few.
too.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination. I think he wants to work with Aubrey, but he knows that she'd be easy to turn into like a shield or a threat to like
Right.
as a smokescreen if he had to.
Well, and it's like
It
they
was
play
team
similar
nerds.
games. Yeah, right. It's like they play similar games, so he's like, we're either going to work together, or it's not the end of the world if she's gone, because then I just take that spot wherever
Right.
she was.
Yeah. Agreed. So that naturally brings us back to
Mhm.
Aubrey and the Purple Tribe. We get a brief scene where the roller coaster of we love Rizzo, we hate Rizzo, we love Rizzo, we hate Rizzo has landed back on hate Rizzo because Rizzo gets a
Because
little
he lazy.
he gets a little paper
That's
cut, and then that leads to Q just going on a rant about everyone in his tribe that doesn't do as much work as they should. And to be
Yes.
fair, they cut from like Aubrey or whoever it was bringing like a twig the size of my arm to like Q and Colby
huge
carrying like a
trunk.
full-on tree
No,
trunk.
that was
No, that
Genevieve.
was
That was
Genevieve.
Genevieve?
Yeah. So it
Oh,
was
you're right. Sorry, I apologize.
Steph
My
and Q
queen,
on the
Genevieve.
beach. Yeah, they
My
were crushing
queen.
it,
Mother.
gathering food. Right, Genevieve's bringing this big trunk. Meanwhile, you
And then
literally
it cuts
watch
to
Angelina.
Angelina.
Yeah, sitting. No fire, no firewood being gathered, no coconuts being opened. Literally just them sitting there chatting. What did
Q
Angelina say,
He
Bree?
said Q said Angelina. He's like, that girl's a statue. I haven't seen her move
That
once.
girl. Someone was like,
That girl lazy. That girl lazy.
I
That's
someone
my
it
favorite part.
cuts to them, and they're like, I want to take a nap. Oh,
I could use a
It
burger
was like
right now.
Angelina's like, Rizzo, I could go for a big burger right now. You're literally, it hasn't even been a week. Like, this isn't even the hard part yet. Like,
Well,
oh,
Rizzo
Oh.
stopped what he stopped with the crabs because he got a little cut and he needed to go sanitize it, and then he never
Yeah.
came back.
he never,
does
and
everyone
he
know
knew
that
it.
like
He knew he came back.
the meme of like Squidward like running away with like his tentacles like flaring up? Like it's a very like like particular way that he's running. And I encourage you to find this picture. But like that was literally what Rizzo looked like when he was like, I have to go disinfect this. And he
He just
starts
like-
walking. What is he disinfecting
Oh
with?
wait, and what did he say? I'm not here to.
Yeah,
I
what a
thought I
terrible
wrote
quote.
the
I'm not
quote.
here to play camp. I'm here to cut throats and win money. I
Whoa,
was like,
Rizzo.
It's like
you
Rizzo,
suck.
you're last pick killer for this foursome. And they told you to their face, they're like, hey, now that Kyle's gone, we gotta now we'll bring you on. Anyway.
Just like reality has yet to hit him of like he was literally carried to top 5 last season and he still thinks that like he was the reason Savannah won, I'm assuming, or like something along those lines. But yeah, just wow.
Which brings us to the immunity challenge.
Wait, no, I've
Oh.
got one thing to say. Before we leave, before we leave, I know we just jumped from Christian over to Aubrey because of that, but before we leave that whole camp scene, there was a deleted scene. I don't know if anyone saw it online. There's a deleted
not.
scene of Christian having a chat with Suri, and he's like, I love Suri. She's a great gal. And it's like, he's got the book smarts, she's got the street smarts. They're completely different. They've got no similarities. And she's like, yo, Christian, you design robots or whatever. Could you make me a robot? And he's like, oh, certainly. Suri, what type of robot would you like? Like a Roomba? And she was like, I don't know what that is. I want something to wake me up and say, hello, Lola. And I say, hey, Shawty. And then it like cuts back to Christian and he's like, she wants something to speak to her. She wants a pet. I'm not sure who Lola is and who's Shorty. And then it's like cuts back to Suri. She's like, I want something to wake me up, get me some breakfast, say, go, hey Lola, go take a shower. And then Christian's like, I've heard she doesn't need it to walk, so this could be a pretty good endeavor, something I'm going to do as a side project. It's just this really funny cutaway of like they're so different. It was
So
hilarious.
That's
And
great.
Christian's looking at a new business venture of creating robot pets, he said.
Robot pets.
I wish that was
It reminds
included
you
in
to
the
me.
episode.
We have those. Those are the eye dogs or whatever from when
Yes.
we were in
I
3rd grade, and they're already perfect.
actually have been getting a lot of Survivor stuff, and Florida State shared a video of him with
Oh
his
yeah,
little
because
robots.
he's a
Did
professor
you guys
there.
see that? Yes,
I
he's
did
a
not.
professor there, and now they're like
I
using him
didn't.
in ads. I'll send it out, but there's a video they posted as like an ad for engineering, and he has like all these little robots around him and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Oh,
Yes,
That's
it's very
awesome.
sweet.
All
Let's
right.
get to the challenge.
So now we get to the immunity challenge. And it is, I'm going to tell you, the exact same immunity challenge as the first one from season 49, which you may, minus the mud, which you may
Yeah.
remember from giving us this moment last season when Nicole famously helped Jeremiah clean his face by spitting into it, which was incredible. I'll put
And
that
that was
gif up
not,
now if I can find it in my phone.
and surprisingly, that was not the worst thing that came out of Nicole's mouth in that episode.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Mm.
Bree hates that clip, so we're going to put what happened later in that episode up right now.
Oh my god!
When she pukes everywhere.
Pissed.
All right, so I won't spend that much time in the description because we watched this last season. They got to go get a big snake that's 200 pounds. They got to bring it through, like they got to crawl back under a net. This time it's
Mhm.
not muddy, and then they got to bring it through this like long kaleidoscope web of ropes. And then they're gonna do like the classic snake ball puzzle. It's a very snake themed thing. It's as if they were like, let's just reuse the old one.
Survivor reputation era.
Yeah, so with that, Kyla, would you like to take
I
us
will
through
have
this
to tell
challenge?
you, my notes on this get a little wild. I feel like I might go a little fast, like like one of those people calling the horse races, because I like, especially Colby's parts. I'm just going to put that out there. Interrupt me if I need to be interrupted. So first, we have the people. They have to run out into the woods and grab that snake. We have Ozzy and I put Elizabeth. Elizabeth is not a player.
Emily?
Emily, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
She
Ozzy
gives
and
Elizabeth
Emily.
energy, though.
She's kind of
Honestly,
forgettable.
yeah.
She's forgettable. Emily's not really a
She's a
memorable
Beth,
player, so
not
it's
an
like,
Elizabeth.
Emily
Um,
Elizabeth is the girl who owns Clifford, and that kind of
Yes.
fits.
Well,
Oh my
listen, don't
God.
get me
Wow.
going because then I might start calling her that and then it'll really piss Pat off. So, Ozzy and
Clifford.
Emily
Ozzy
for
and Clifford.
orange. John. Oh, that's mean because she has red hair.
No,
Does
she
she have red
doesn't.
hair?
Strawberry
Strawberry
blonde.
blonde. Jonathan and
It's not
Camilla for
red.
blue, Genevieve and Rizzo for pink. So first out, Jonathan and Camilla with Ozzy and Emily coming right up behind them. Jonathan and Camilla almost have their snake through the whole obstacle before Rizzo and Genevieve even get out of the woods. It's
Yeah.
kind of
And-
crazy.
And you say Jonathan and Camilla, but what you mean is Jonathan, because I don't think
Mostly
Camilla
Jonathan.
has to touch the
Hey,
snake
Yes.
at all.
the tail of that snake was clean because it wasn't on the ground. All right, Camilla lifted that tail up.
Yeah. I don't want to ruin what comes up in just a moment, but she's not the worst. I mean, he's not the most impressive that happens with Snake. That's all I'll say, which is surprising because usually I'm a Jonathan stan when it comes to these sorts of things, but I'm also a Colby stan. So, they're just doing terrible. Genevieve and Rizzo are doing terrible. It seems like they're taking their sweet time. Like even Jeff's giving them a hard time, and Genevieve's like, all right, Jeff, like
The
give me
best
a break
quote from
here.
Genevieve. She looks at Rizzo. It's okay, don't panic, girl. Yell at him.
Yeah,
Yell
get
at him, please.
going. So finally, Snake's on the board. By this time, the two other tribes already have their snake at the ropes.
Which
Colby-
is the immunity challenge gift of the week. Is Jonathan does that like secret agent dive through. He's like, he was already in the lead. He didn't need to do it. He probably could have just like ripped the rope apart in his bare hands, but he dives through face first for
Yeah.
Looked more
Loved
like a
it.
WWE move to like, just like try to like flip leg drop someone. It wasn't really graceful in the slightest, but it looked fun.
So
Continue.
now both the orange and the blue tribe have 2 snakes on the board. Now Colby, he's coming out. He's coming out with, I actually keep forgetting Stephanie's name. I call her Jennifer Stephanie because I can't remember which one it is. She runs out with Colby.
Sounds like we have a name retention problem
Yeah,
here.
this is
I
going to
do
be a
have a
running
name
bit.
retention problem.
Kyla's got name blindness.
Colby is trying to pull the snake before the ropes are even off the tail. Stephanie's freaking out. She's like, wait,
Colby,
is
I have to.
gone.
Like a dog on a chain. Just like, let me go.
I think she's literally holding the snake with her pinky. He is
Yeah.
dragging it through the sand by himself. He's all the way through the obstacle. He literally lifts, she's not even touching the snake when he puts it on the placement. Like,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Those are 200-pound snakes as well.
Yes.
that's what, that's what Pat
Yes.
said. That's
Crazy.
crazy.
This, which is what we wanted from Colby. That's what we had all hoped for, is that he was going to show up like old Kobe. Colby.
Yes.
Colby. Nah,
Colby.
now Kyla's ruined it for me. Colby.
Wait, I
R.I.P.
said Colby weird?
No, I did.
No, you say
Okay.
it properly. There's an L in
But
his
now
name.
I'm messing up names.
Okay, so Colby actually puts Pink in a good spot, but now we have someone else to ruin it. We have Aubrey. She's gonna come out there. She doesn't ruin it, but listen, Ozzy's hauling. I want to cuss, but I'm not gonna. He's hauling his butt. He is hauling ass. Like he is just out there. Aubrey is so slow that they're the last ones out of the woods. I don't understand what happened there. So, anyways, and then one of my favorite shots, before we kind of get to the end of the snake bit, is Rizzo says to Colby while Colby's literally like bent over, out of breath, Rizzo, that was amazing. That was amazing. And I just want to say Colby is still a beast. He proved it. I just have to give him props for this.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Somehow Pink, oh, I already said that. Somehow Pink makes it last, even though, so Aubrey kind of ruins it there. And then the last obstacle is where you have to make the ball go along a snake wood kind of challenge. And I actually really like this because the teamwork part of it, of 3 people kind of pulling those strings. One person's usually kind of calling, and then the other 2, because it's not just left, right, like it's not just it's also the up and down that usually tricks people. And that's what you kind of see. So I think the blue tribe, they're all on this basically around the same time. And the blue tribe is the first to drop. Rizzo is somehow seemed to be the one calling for Pink, which I was surprised.
He was very good.
Yeah. And they were the slow and steady team. And sometimes you see that. And I think it was this time where it kind of won out. Orange drops. It's clear kind of Ozzy and Christian are bumping heads a little, or something was going on there.
Well, it's because Christian screamed something about the parallax, and I'm like, you cannot.
He said something really fancy.
You have to come down to Ozzy's level, and also the rest of our levels. You
Correct.
can't.
It was bad. It was like Christian not only says crazy high level words, but then Ozzy, it was like watching like brothers fight. Ozzy was like, Christian, you have to let go. And he was like, okay. And just like completely drops his string and the ball just skyrockets off the track. I was like,
wild.
Okay, well.
And
didn't
also,
expect that of Christian.
Why was Coach involved at all in any of the snake?
Just so D could scream at him.
Yes. And Charlie and Dee just truly don't like Coach, and they just every chance they have to yell at that man, they did.
What'd she say? Get your head in the game, Coach. So Pink pulls out first place, and then after a few really tense moments, kind of back and forth, Blue pulls out that second place. So Oranges go into tribal.
Yes. And just to recap, Ozzy has an idol, which in a cutaway we reveal he's been keeping in his crotch, which
yes.
We're gonna have to sanitize.
If you know, we are, because if you know, you know. That's probably the last place he should specifically be.
Check my name. Check my tribe name if you need to understand more, everyone.
Before we leave the challenge, can I just say,
please,
just a general thought from Bree. I like the idea of Survivor 50 calling back to old challenges in the sense that people who have been longtime fans will remember these things. but it's lazy, capital
Mm,
L, just like you said. It's a lazy to do a direct copy of something from season 49 when we just saw that.
right.
And it's like you have the snakes, do something different with them. They did the same
Yes.
thing.
I
I'm
do agree.
I like
not a fan.
appreciate the elements. I don't like that it was quite literally, like you said, Brie, carbon copy the same
Hmm.
order of events. Like,
Hmm.
come on now.
I
You
will
gotta
have to
think
admit,
these people haven't done that. They haven't seen this challenge, right? So
Oh,
maybe
Even
they're
you're
Rizzo.
thinking
right.
like
Yeah.
none of
Well,
them have done
Savannah
it
and
except
Rizzo
for
Only
did.
Savannah
Rizzo.
and Rizzo
Yeah.
would have.
You're right.
But that's true. Like they hadn't even watched it play out on camera either.
Like you have Billie Eilish money. Why don't you have a new challenge?
yeah, viewers matter too. But I
Get
will
Billy on the challenge
say,
making.
through that, I will say that it didn't affect me as much because, as you all know, I've binged like a million survive. Like that season was a million years ago for me. So whatever.
True.
That's
It's
Fair.
true.
true.
And
I
to
I
be
didn't
did
even
I
fair,
did watch
remember.
a lot in between.
to be fair, we did also get 2 challenges this week in the tribe phase, which we don't normally get. So we land and sea. All right.
And
So
cramps.
what?
And coach's cramps and see.
Oh yeah,
Never mind.
Cramps. I thought you said in Chris.
Oh, no.
See,
it's Kyla doing the name thing again. All right. So that leads us to the
there's a
Scrambo,
Chrissy.
Scrambo.
where
Stop.
Emily spills to Sari that she wants Ozzy, which had
Big
me worried
mistake.
for Emily for a
She's
second.
obsessed. She's obsessed.
It's a good move, not
It's not
not
right
for
now.
me or as a fan of Ozzy, but
Why are you going to get rid of your challenge beast? You already are losing challenges.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm
You
just
know,
saying, like, it's an interesting move. It's an
it's an
interesting.
interesting
I'll
move.
say that
Yes,
it's
yes,
interesting
yeah,
and
you're
it's
right.
tricky. Sari was
Yes,
probably the last person she should have said that to. I was
That's why
shocked,
I'm saying mistake. That's why I'm saying
but
mistake, not
yeah,
the
it's true.
move.
I
Who,
was
not the, yeah, yeah, not the person to vote for. Who you said it to was the
yes,
problem. Fair.
Mistake.
yes,
Yes.
I was shocked that Sari didn't go. Now Emily's out. Sari went.
Me too.
I can't with that photo. It looks like I've just turned into Christian and pooped myself. Like, oh no! Where was I? I'm shocked Sari went, let's go for anyone but Ozzy. Like, and which she did masterfully, by the way. I would have expected her to go after Emily, and she didn't, luckily for people that have Emily on their head.
So maybe in a segment later on tonight we'll get into how baller of
Yes.
a move that is.
Yes, I'm sure we will. So she gives a quote that's basically like, "Let me help you figure out why I'm correct. Let me inception my plan into your mind." We then this is where we get the Joe versus Devins thing,
Hmm.
and I don't want to steal anything from another later segment because there is a lot to talk about here. I will say this, in my opinion, and this is strictly based on the edit. I know we have more information we'll get to, but strictly based on what was shown. I feel like Devins is in the wrong here. And I will tell you why. Again, only based on what we saw. I get that Joe's honor thing is annoying to people, and I am on record as saying it's not a great strategy to win, only to go far, and it's
Hmm.
boring to watch. But he basically did to Devins what Savannah did to Christina last season and was like, hey, you lied to my face. Why'd you do that? You can trust me. And Devins is like, I don't like that I was caught, and just loses it and is like, he's
Yep.
the worst. And he's like, he just asked you, like, there was a non-confrontational way out of that. That being
Especially
said, I know we
given,
have more information, so
right.
I digress.
Especially given the fact that it was like it wasn't even like Joe was being lied about. It was a positive of let's work together.
Mm,
That's where to me, I was just like, Devins, you just folded by being like, so what was that? Huh? Like, he's like, I didn't hear you. What? Because he couldn't think of a lie fast enough. It, very poorly played. Very poorly played.
um, I don't want to take anything away from the later segment. Do we want to keep going then?
The only thing I would like to say,
Yep.
oh, well, it's right after this, so I'll just throw it in. The editing team gold when you watch Joe on the hammock talking to Christian and you're
So
like
specific.
describing his like emotions and feelings, and all of a sudden and you see Christian's face. And then all of a sudden the cut to the other side and Christian's like, uh-huh, and how did that make you feel? Uh-huh.
In the hammock, like
It was
I think there's some sort of effect on Christian's eyes too. They were like much bluer in that scene. It was like very like almost like Titanic-y, where it was like Rose on the
It's
the
Yeah.
wood plank and Jack's in the ocean. Like,
it's too much to put in now, but do you know how many unbelievable memes there are of that
Oh, so
shot?
many.
And it's like when I'm looking to see if my hot pockets are ready through the oven door, and it's just Christian staring, or like, oh, it's so funny.
so
And he's
good.
he's rocking him like a
Right, he's
baby
just
in the
pushing
hammock.
him back and forth. Also, like face fully in Joe's armpit, and it's like it's been a week, and I know you don't have sanitary materials, so
Well,
like a
No.
bad spot to be in.
Christian's. I mean,
That's your one to talk.
let's
He probably smells a
of
little
all the
rank, but
people, he's probably still smells bad. So we get. Oh,
It says what gentle parenting looks like.
Oh, that's
did they make
amazing.
his body smaller? Lean forward so
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, that's incredible. Looks like
still
an Oompa
ripped though.
Loompa.
Still ripped. Not
That's good. Yeah, just a jacked baby. All right. So Suri at this point is like, Devon's is a moron, and I don't care about any of this. But if
right.
this is going to help me with my agenda of anyone but Ozzy, I'm happy to let you
Right. Keep the
Have
go
shields
at
on
it.
around.
whatever rant you want to go on.
Keep the shields around.
Which Savannah doesn't end up working out for her, but clocks what's going on so unbelievably well. And this is when I went, there's some maybe criticism over how the quality of her play last season. She wasn't competing with 17 other fantastic Survivor
Right.
players. There's some good play in there, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like she had to outsmart the world's biggest geniuses per se. I was like, maybe she's an unbelievable Survivor player because she's the only one that literally knows exactly what is happening.
Well, funny enough, you know who else knew what was happening? Jenna.
Yes. Yes.
True.
So Savannah was making the right step, but Sari was just 5 steps ahead.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's why
True.
she's the queen. Sorry, we're jumping ahead, but
No, you're good.
that was just like a key moment to me because I had the exact same note, Pat. I was like, Savannah's like playing so smart. She just didn't put into place what she needed.
Yeah. And then we get a scene where Christian tells Rick or Devins or Devers or whatever Kylo wants to call him next week about the idol. And I have in my notes, Rick, his eyes light up like a crack addict. He's like, there's idols about? That's my whole thing. Like, let's do it. And he's like, he explodes. He's out of control. And he's like, they're going to end up planting at Tribal. They're like, we're going to plant a fake idol at Tribal. Something that historically, I forget who it is, and I forget what season. I should have looked it up. But there's one person that I know of that, like, at one point in Survivor history, during Tribal, runs up to Jeff's, like, podium and tries to rip it apart. He's like, I just thought maybe that was an idol.
Winners at War, Adam in season 40
Thank you.
was like convinced that the little, all I think of is New Orleans. I can't think of what the insignia is.
Oh, the little fleur-de-lis?
Yeah,
Oh,
Florida,
yeah.
Florida. He like was convinced, and I was so glad you brought that up because that was my note too. I was like, Adam must be watching this kicking and screaming. Be
Yeah.
like, see, I'm not the only one that would think that there could be an idol at a tribal.
The best part is he's like, can I play the podium? I'm gonna play the podium.
He like touches the whole podium. He's like, I'm gonna play this, and Jeff's just like, no.
Not to also be outdone by another wild idol moment in Tribal where that lady Sabaya had the idol
Oh,
encased in
yeah.
wax, and she's like, we don't have fire in our camp, so I'm just gonna go to the Tribal, put it in the fire, and wait for it to melt. And everyone's like, oh,
And every 2 minutes she has to get up and like turn it over.
check it.
Yeah, and she makes a big show of it, and then
She's,
she
like,
doesn't play it
rotating
and
like a
gets
hot dog.
and then she
Right, she's
doesn't
like,
play it and
"You
gets
gotta
voted
spit."
out. Anyway, that's
Anyway.
gonna lead us to Tribal Council.
Tribal Council.
And because he's here and we can just ask him to do whatever segment we don't want to do ourselves, Mikey, could you walk us through Tribal?
Oh, I absolutely can because this tribal to me was the tribal that I needed all last season to take place, and I probably could have gotten away with potentially a dub. Anywho, so To not spoil it too much. So we get in there, everyone shuffles in. Immediately, you see Joe sit on one side of Sela, Devin sit on the other side of Sela. They had to be separated by the rest of them. Immediately, Jeff hits the question, "Hey, what's going on?" Heard there was a little bit of drama. And Joe is like, "I'm the bigger person. I'm going to apologize first before Devin's can." And make it look like I'm the one that's being apologetic. He, owns up to the fact that he was like, I came on too strong. Like and he says like partially or like some of the blame is on me. So like trying to make sure Devins knows he's also a part of it. Which immediately then it gets followed up by Devins being like, oh, we're the same person, like both in physique and stubbornness. Like, yes, Devins, you're so funny. Make light of the situation. But they both were just like, we're two stupid men that, fought over being the same, and super stubborn. So they get over it. And then Jeff starts asking some other questions, goes to Savannah. And I think this is where we see Savannah, and we'll probably see Rizzo sooner or later, do not have the physical or mental capability of playing this game. And the fact that they were only 2 weeks prepared for season 50, because she broke so fast. And like, obviously in season 49, she broke at times, but not a week into the game. And so when she was asked the question, she starts talking about how she needed to play with more vulnerability this time. She didn't do a good job of it last time, but when she did, she saw good effects of it, and how it applies to like everyone within. But then she like not has a full on breakdown, like catches herself, but like you could still see like she's choking back tears. And it was like, oh, I just hope that like I do a better job of it. And then you see Suri just kind of like, coax her a little bit of like, there, young one. It'll all be over soon. Almost like it was a death wish touch. Yeah, so that was only a little, but at this point the editors did a very good job because they so slyly snuck in like when the group kind of came to a consensus during Scramble that I honestly had no idea who it was going to be.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
like everyone that I talked to was like very confused because at that point you had Joe, you had Savannah, you had Ozzy as the three names that were getting floated around through camp. So Jeff's like, okay, time to vote. It honestly wasn't that big of like a debrief. And so they all go to vote. No one obviously has any idols to play. Jeff goes and reads the first vote, and it's Savannah. And so immediately that's when I knew in my mind Savannah's going home because it was just one of those things where Savannah had other people's names thrown out there. There was no way it wasn't going to be a unanimous vote at this point in the game. Ozzy's name gets read second, and the remainder of the votes go to Savannah's name. So she is also Jeff called her the third player voted out. And I was like, no. Second player voted out. Give some respect to Kyle. He wasn't voted out. It wasn't by his choice.
Right.
But Savannah becomes the next player voted out. So sorry to all the people who thought she could go back to back and be the first back-to-back Survivor champ. Not happening this time around. And then just to add some fun, some flair to the episode, this is where Rick and Christian's plan starts to come into play. And I just want to know when they were like, what should we do? Christian probably was like, well, I already myself in front of everyone. So like eating not be as bad. He just falls. Just like gets
he doesn't
up from
fall.
his
He
stump.
throws himself on the ground.
Right. Just immediately just completely eats it. Poor Serene, nurse mode activated. She's like, oh my God, Christian, are you okay?
He walks the wrong way after.
Right? Like buys it hook, line, sinker. Devins is able to do his thing, places the fake, whatever, goes undetected. And Cerise still convinced, like, Christian, are you okay? As they're like walking off into the night. But it got planted at Tribal. So that is, I think, the best way to hope that Sela doesn't end up at Tribal next, because you want to mess around with some other teams maybe. But yeah, it'll be an interesting one. But yeah, sorry to Savannah. No chance at even winning an immunity challenge this go around. She went from the most by a woman to 0 in season 50. So how the turnstable.
Yeah, what's
And
the
as
deal
my
with this?
mom,
Go ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say, as my mom said after the whole idol was planted, she goes, I think Christian had something to do with it. I was like, you're right, Mom. I think he
Nothing gets
did.
past you. Yeah.
I was like, I think he might have had something to do with it.
This
Oh,
was my favorite moment This little smile, this little smirk,
Yeah,
smirk,
'cause
smirk, smirk, smirk.
So creepy.
That's when Christian literally says, "Oh," he's like pretending like it was like he's trying to like fake cover himself up, but he's just being honest because he knows he can't lie. He's like, "I meant to do that." He did.
Yeah, yeah.
He
I mean, it was a
did.
good way to lie about it. He did. He wasn't lying. He meant to
That's
do
what he
that.
would say if he fell. So
But
it
right,
worked.
if it was an
Yeah.
accident. Exactly. It was good.
I also
He was
just
very
love
sly.
a camera look, like
He
like
did.
Like in the fourth wall.
Well,
Yeah, the fourth wall
especially the
thing.
newscaster, shocker, is gonna like,
Yeah.
target the camera and be like, I know my spot.
Well, anything
But
else on Tribal?
yeah, anyone else want to say their last words for Savannah?
Well, just he did kind of betray his fellow
News
Georgia
anchor?
news anchor.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
Read.
So that's gonna bring us to the end of the episode of our recap portion. In surprise, we actually have more background information to cover. So back again with the second installment in this episode of Tea Time with Megan is Megan.
Okay, friends, and now our last portion of our tea time here is we have to get into Savannah and some of the things that she talked about in her exit interview. So I did find out that we saw in episode 1, Savannah comes right out and tells everyone that she won. I was kind of like, I don't know if I would have done that. I don't know if I would have, told everybody I won. Apparently, I think Bree actually talked about this on the last episode of the podcast, that she said that because a bunch of people knew that she won. So Sophie B, again, love Sophie B's interviews. She did a whole segment where she said that they had a whole plan of what they were going to say. They were going to say that Sophie B won, Rizzo went out during fire making, and that Savannah was voted out 5th, where Christina was actually voted out. So the three of them talked about it. That was their plan. Like, Rizzo was also set going into season 50 saying that was what was going to happen. And then when Savannah was getting on the plane to go to Fiji, Sophie called her and was like, abort, abort. I heard that they already know that you won. You just got to come clean. It'll be 10 times worse. So I don't know who exactly was the leak. I think Bree said it might have been Sage, but that was not her plan. She had an entirely other plan, but it kind of got faltered because of all that. So after hearing all that, I was like, well, I understand, Savannah, actually, why you want to tell everyone you won. And unfortunately, I do think that kind of led to her downfall, because they were like, she won and we don't know anything about her. She's got to go. So I'm sorry, Savannah, you were a good player, but we knew that was going to happen at some point. Also, Savannah did give us some tea about our friends Rick and Joe. So we see a big portion of the episode. Everyone is talking about how they can't work with Joe. Oh, like, Joe is so difficult to work with. Like, I don't know if we can keep him around. And I personally was like kind of confused, because I was like, I guess like he keeps talking, he talks about playing honorable and stuff like Coach, but I guess he's actually honorable. And I was like, I just like don't understand why it shifted so quickly, right? Like, it kind of seemed like everyone all of a sudden was just like, no, we can't work with Joe. Well, we do see that little fight between Rick and Joe right before Tribal, after the challenge. And we see them kind of going at it. But Savannah said in her interview that what we saw on TV was a small portion of that fight. She said it was a huge blowout fight. Like, they were screaming at each other. She basically made it seem like it was so uncomfortable for everyone around that after that's when everyone was like, we can't work with him. He is insane. We cannot work with Joe. We can't do this. So I'm kind of curious, like, what was said that was so bad, because I feel like usually the production is like all about that, but apparently it was 10 times worse than what we were actually shown. So I would love to see some bloopers or an edit of, I guess not bloopers, but some behind the scenes of what that actually looks like. And I'm curious now that they didn't elect to vote either of them out, if that continues, and maybe Joe is next on the chopping block. Unsure. So let me know what you all think. Thanks for coming, and come next week for more tea.
Before we go into the league roundup, Mikey, it's time now live on air. And by live, I mean live for us and not live for anyone listening to this.
If you're listening to this live, get off my computer, please. Thank you. No one needs to.
To my FBI agents,
My
log
FBI
off.
agent. Right. I don't need to hear it this week. Awesome.
But it's going to be Mikey's move of the week live.
Thanks, Pat. Again, we're back with my opinions here, and the move this week was the winner move on my end was I texted Pat and Bree and Kyla to basically ask that I could be on this week. Oh, that was my winner move. No, so to bring you my opinion of the winners and loser moves, again, we're keeping it real of every tribe as we're in pre-merge does get a winner and a loser. So we're starting with our friends at Vachu, our pink, magenta, fuchsia, anything but red tribe. Is the winner is honestly the whole tribe for that win in the immunity challenge. Because they started so poorly, I was actually amazed at how well they all played together, especially in the snake puzzle. I hate giving Rizzo his credit, but that is where he really shined for once. And like in an immunity challenge, we all know Rizzo's bad. So like the fact that they won because of a lot of his doing, I was very amazed by. The loser is Aubrey, because my quote exactly was, "Miss Girl, who taught you how to jump in this lifetime?" So yeah, yes. Again, we're back to Mariah from 46. We need some of those training sessions for Aubrey, because wow, that was just that in itself bad. Then we move over to our friends over at Kahlo, the Teal Tribe, the winner. Happy Women's History Month. Happy specifically today, March 8th, International Women's Day. Tiff and Dee ate up that snake. They were the only two all-female pairing to carry that snake, and they destroyed it. Tiff and Dee, I like that duo in itself. Again, back to my calling Jonathan out last week for not picking the 3 strongest women from the new era on your tribe, and you said, let me befriend Chrissy and Mike White, like and Coach. Coach is my number 1. Where his work, he's not my biggest loser this week from Kahlo, but again, Tiff and Dee ate that up. Shout out the 2 of them; they're fantastic. And then my biggest loser, shocker, from Kahlo is Coach for the numerous things he did poorly this week. Cramps, drama, heightened emotions. Also, did anyone know he like tackled Charlie after they won? Like completely body slammed him. Like after Charlie like yelled at him to be like, "Coach, you're too high," like whatever, they like finish out and he like runs over and like just absolutely bulldozes Charlie. Go back and see that clip if you haven't. Looks like he's like a D1 linebacker, like hitting an A gap to go whatever. But Coach, lots of misplays this week. Can't wait to see him gone. And then Sela, the winner is Sari, because she's just so smart, so well spoken. Literally 8 steps, whatever you want to call them, ahead of the game. So far, the 2 people who have been voted out back to back, Jenna and Savannah, aka the 2 people who literally said Ozzy and Sari are working together. And what does Sari do? Gets rid of them real quick. Like it's so impressive to watch her maneuver everything. And every season she's ever been on, Heroes and Villains was really the only time she didn't get to go to work. And why? Because they knew to get rid of her before she could go to work. So Sela, you are literally watching yourselves crumble because Sari is already playing her game. The loser is obviously Savannah. I always commented at her lack of strategic game last season and her lack of a social game. It did come to bite her in the butt a little bit, not because she wasn't aware of things going on, but because she didn't actually make a move on any of it. Like if you knew and felt so strong that Ozzy and Sari were working together, like use Emily to your advantage, use Devins to your advantage, right? She didn't really like gain anything from any of them. And I think she could have actually easily have stayed in if she just knew who to go to sooner. And then we have our biggest winner, biggest loser. Honorable mentions of the week. For losers, idols, as we referenced a little bit earlier, we have to disinfect Ozzy's idol before anyone else touches it so that we do not have any sort of viral spreading going on. So honorable mention for that loser. Outside the game Survivor, Harry Styles fans, I'm sorry for your loss. That album is not nearly as good as it should have been. Anyway, big winner of the week, Colby. Colby gave major dad energy this week, yelling at Rizzo for how to tend to and make a fire. I was very entertained, but then also making the snake his and getting zero help from Stephanie along the way. Just all ultimate money move from a 50-year-old still playing Survivor. Go him. And then the biggest losers, Devins and Joe. No one trusts you anymore. You're all like, you're just scary people to have around camp because you blow up over meaningless things, both of you, not just one of you. And I would never want to work with them. So I do see them on the chopping block for next week. And those are all of my moves of the week.
Woo!
Thank you, Mikey.
Good moves.
So with that, it is time to do our league roundup, starting with the scoring plays of the week. All right, here is who on the island scored points in for our league. Everyone in the Orange Tribe besides Savannah voted with the majority, so they get credit for that. Much like week 1, Christian gets points for finding an idol. Aubrey gets points for being given the idol. We'll see how that plays out. No one played any advantages this week. Tribe reward goes to Orange and Teal, since it was a separate reward challenge. Both tribes that got the reward get it. And in the immunity challenge, what? You threw me off completely. I don't like this. For anyone listening, Bree has changed her picture to a background of me in Zoom, mouth agape mid-sentence.
I got a screen grab and I couldn't help but take
Oh,
advantage of that.
terrible. All right, well, where was I? Tribe immunity, Teal, and Fuchsia. Those are all, and there's me again giving everyone the finger. All right. Those are all the scoring
Looks
plays.
very reminiscent to Devin's face.
Come
Wow.
on.
Pat,
Oh,
who would have
no.
thought of all people on this Zoom to not use you as a target for a background?
No, leave it up. Leave it up. I want everyone who's in our group who's just listening to the audio of this to know that they are really missing out on some mediocre visual bits that only the people on YouTube are going to get. This is ridiculous. This background thing is getting out of
Also, the candid pose from Bree here. Wow.
I know.
Yeah,
look
how
at
did you
me,
screen cap
model.
Bree looking so
Wow.
Of course.
Like, truly well done.
Girls,
Bree's
girl.
just always camera ready. That's why.
there's so many of me on the screen. It's one is too many, but there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of me.
Unfortunately, you were talking when I put it up because I was gonna say Pat's face when we run out of Pop-Tarts.
Or popcorn.
Or popcorn.
No, this is horrible. All right, well, normally this is where we would go to the season standings, but I have a surprise segment for you all. Only Bree knew that this was coming. She didn't know what it was, but she knew there was a surprise segment. I didn't warn anyone else about this. We have the return of something that people have been begging for
Tens of people.
what 10 yeah, well,
Yeah,
one person
satisfying.
one
Fives
person
of people.
specifically on this call has been begging for this for a couple days now. Not even that long. We have the return of the wheel.
Oh, that's me.
Wheel,
Am I
wheel,
the person?
wheel.
We will get to who lost people this week when we do our season standings. But once again, last week you may have noted that we said Nora and Pat Mulcahy forgot to pick anyone. That's been remedied this week already. But when I reminded Nora, I was like, "Hey, don't forget, like you're part of this league." She was like, "Whatever, just wheel it again."
Just wheel
So
me. I like that.
we're bringing out the wheel to reveal who she's going to pick up.
The
This
wheel
week.
to reveal. I like that too.
Yeah, the
Wheel
wheel
to-
to
oh.
reveal. We can workshop the title of this segment, but the wheel is back. Shall we?
Get it going.
Let's go. Look how comfortable
Yeah.
it is in my background.
Here we go. Oh,
It's not going. It's not doing anything on it.
No, I see it.
Okay.
It's spinning.
gone.
It's spinning. It's spinning.
a little bit further.
Oh, good pick. Wow.
Thank God
Good
it didn't
pick,
land
wheel.
on Chrissy.
Good pick, wheel.
Good
Lucky
wheel.
ducky,
Good
Nora.
wheel.
Nora's
Because,
gonna
wow.
get Suri. I'll put that in after we're done recording.
What a wheel reveal.
She
Good
really could have
job.
gotten screwed over.
Good job. So now let's actually get to the season standings. Starting with, not calling it the bottom half of the league anymore. I came up with fun names. Let's go to the pre-merge boots of the league. The pre-merge boots are the bottom half of the standings, so places 15 through 28. I've highlighted on here where they're trending, whether they've gone up or down, and when we look at the whole thing, you'll see I've extra highlighted who dropped the most and who rose the most. So in the bottom is Nora with Mike White's pepperoni nipples. Christina dropped to 27th with And We're Back, Baby. Heidi is in 26. Greg, since you're here, what do you got for us?
Who was in 26th again? I didn't hear that.
It's Heidi, my mom.
Oh,
Your favorite.
Okay. Got it. That's all I need to hear.
Oh boy. Pat Shiring with Do you know what a Reuben sandwich is, Jeff? Was in 25th. Mulcahy is in 24th. Drew is in 23rd. Greg, do you have any shots you want to take at Drew since you're one of the only people in the league that knows him?
He's just biding his time. You notice that trend 0 right there.
Yeah.
He's consistent. So why is his consistency metric not higher?
The consistency is we'll talk about this when we talk about the awards. The consistency metric is based on how many points your team has scored in the episode, not your rank.
Gotcha.
Not your rank. We'll talk about that. That's a good question, though. Kayla, not Kyla, is in 22nd. Emily, 21st. Jazz.
Emily Elizabeth, perhaps.
I no. Well, that's the initial of her last name. Ryan Shiring is in 19th. Brian is in 18th. Smith in 17th. Sharon, wave 8, is in 16th. And Megan is in 15th.
Can I just point out, I don't even know if she'll watch the episode. Jazz, this is a good thing we don't live in the same household anymore. I only expect greatness in the top half of the league. I only it to be in the same household, all right? I need better.
But, well,
20th isn't cutting it. I'm sorry.
Pat, isn't the lower the CV, the better?
Yeah.
Very consistent. Good job. Consistently
bad.
Consistently bad, right.
All right.
Sorry, I don't even know you. I didn't mean to make a jab.
No, it's too late. I'm gonna cut out the part where you apologize. All right, so that was the pre-merge boots of the league. Let's go to the jury.
The winners.
The jury, which is the top half of the league minus obviously the podium. So Brenna is in 14th. Greg, any hype for your wife? She moved up 6 spots this week.
Nice job, Brenna.
We're trending in the right direction here.
Yep.
You can stay in the household because she's on the top half now.
Well, and that's 0.
She went up as much as you went down.
Yeah, and that's 0, unfortunately.
All right, we'll keep going. Loomis is in 13th. Alex with Malaysian Airlines Flight 371 is in 12th. Anything on Alex, Greg?
He willingly picked coach. So
he did.
All you have to say.
That's I want you to know that's not his name. I pulled that from my list of names to give tribes if they forgot to give me a name. It was between that and I almost went with Gilligan Sightseeing Boat Tours was one I almost picked, but I was like, that's too funny.
So just like sensitive topic, like hitter things that we brought up now. We go Hamas and then we go in.
I will say, you're the one bringing it up, Mikey. No one was going to bring up Katrina until we got to the storm.
Katrina is like now this week is the Malaysian airline missing flight. My God.
I promised in our we now have a work chat, which is just people that host / contribute. And Mikey was like, we won't bring up Hamas or Katrina this week. And I said, don't worry, we'll find something.
I'm sorry. At first it was me because I don't know if everyone's been seeing this pizza like pop in and out that's behind my head. It's something
I've been seeing it.
It's like it hangs on my wall and it makes me look like I'm like the Pizzagate, like,
no, he's thinking about pizza so much that it's physically manifesting as a thought bubble above his head.
I thought it was a chocolate chip cookie, so I guess that's
okay.
what this says about me.
But there we go, everyone. It's just artwork on my wall. It's a
Just a
pizza.
pizza.
There's a real
new.
pizza. No, for the people listening that can't see it, there's a real pizza in a shadow box on Mikey's wall.
If you recall, I believe it was Jimmy Neutron. Was that the with the like floating pizzas that were like monsters? I forget whatever TV show
I'm gonna
that
be
was.
honest, this is shockingly a poll too deep for me. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I
All right,
hope
let's
Can I
keep
make-
going.
Can I just make
Alex
one
and
comment before we
Yeah.
leave the team names? Matt's team name says the Golden Oldie, and it just makes it seem like Matt is a senior citizen. And I just want to take a moment.
He picked all senior citizens. If you look at his tribe,
But is
he
it
has-
supposed to be the Golden Oldies? Like that's the
Yeah,
tribe,
plural.
or is he just
Yeah.
the oldie?
who's to say?
He's-
I've never made a mistake before in my life, so I assume.
Well, I
that's
think
correct.
I typed
Matt
it in.
chime
so-
in. Matt, chime in the comments.
No,
Matt,
don't do
Me
that.
or Patrick messed up.
That's
Um,
you assuming he's
75.
gonna watch this, Kyla. That's really funny.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, if it's the golden oldie next week, we'll know that Matt didn't listen. All right, so in 10th is Scott with the Storm, and we're not going to comment on his team name, right, Kyla?
No, I mean I can name some other storms.
Oh,
The storm
God.
is weakening, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not a good week for Scott.
Yeah,
Then,
he fell down. Pew.
yeah, then Kelsey.
But Kelsey,
Kelsey in 9th, moved up 8 spots.
Yeah, with the
Greg.
Good 3 episode.
Yeah, Greg.
Stay with that tribe name.
Greg in 8th.
Yeah, everyone falls down every now and again, you know. I'm pulling a Christian here. I meant to do that.
You absolutely should have sang your team name.
Yeah, let's get Greg doing it. Actually, don't, because I got a copyright notice last week, and
Did
I think
you
it's because I
really?
sang your tribe name.
That's crazy though.
And
You didn't
and
even
now
do that well.
my team is no longer all women, so I feel like it's
Mm.
a little bit of a forgery name.
Yes, because you picked up who this week?
I thought about it for hours, honestly, hours, and I settled on Joe, but I'm not confident in it.
Mikey
Honor
is
and
either.
dignity.
He's trying to be nice.
Should have let us
Honor and
wheel ya.
dignity. Yeah.
All right, above Greg is Anne with the Hammis tribe. Let's make sure we stick the landing on that.
Land the
Me-
plane, just
Yeah.
not the
Hard
Malaysian
ham.
airline flight.
Oh my God, no, Mikey, no. Stop talking. We're
Now-
gonna keep going. No, we're gonna keep going. Now we're doing V is in 6th with what Whitney Houston said. Mikey is in 5th. The ST Divas. I didn't.
Correct.
I
Thank
just
you.
called you an STD. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I
Well,
paused at the wrong part.
he hides the idol in his pocket, so it's gonna spread at some point, you know?
And then Kyla with Can I Have Yo Jacket in 4th. Which leads us
Right.
to Final Tribal. Who's made it to Final Tribal at this current moment? Bree and myself tied,
wow.
only to be outdone by Tristan with no chocolate needed.
Now, should we address the conspiracy theories
I was
now?
just gonna say, Kyla, I don't know if it helps us though, because you and I are 4th and 5th. So it's like, unfortunately, we also are benefiting a little bit from this.
Hey, I would be tied for first. No, I'd be in first if everyone said that
Gave
Mike
Mike
White
White-
got
Yeah.
journey points.
Well,
Mm,
if he
mhm.
knew how to pick a rock better, you would be in first. Maybe blame it on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's a tight game though.
It is.
It is, yeah. I will say that the top, honestly, like the top
10
24
people.
spots are within 10 points.
Only
Well,
the top 24, not to 26 though, you said?
That wheel really effed Nora
Woof.
over. God.
How did it screw her over? No,
She's
because
in last
Jenna-
place.
oh, you mean from week 1? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
part of that is because she didn't pick someone last week, so she
Right.
went at this week.
So
with
she
2
went in with
players.
2, yeah.
Okay.
Thank God Mokay was paying attention this week. He would be down to 1 player if he didn't. He made picks this week. I forget who he picked.
See,
Oh,
you're welcome for AI generating him into some pictures.
Yes. I don't really know how that plays into it, but thank you.
Well, I got him
He
paying
picked-
attention, you know.
Tiff
No, he picked on like Friday.
Oh.
and
I thought it was only allowed on Saturday. Conspiracy.
Oh, sorry.
We're the
Saturday,
police.
whatever it was. He picked after the deadline.
Hmm.
So wait, can I
We might have
ask
to do public pickings from now on.
Can I ask that this
The
also
reaping.
brings back a segment talking about picking Tiff, picking potentially Q?
Oh yeah. Let's do this now. Hold on before you do this, because she will listen to this, and I want to
I
be
know.
very clear that I said that I have nothing to do with this part of the conversation.
I
I will
that's
not be held
totally
responsible
fine.
for what Mikey is about to say.
I
Are
would
you
love
about to
to.
direct something at Megan? What's going
No,
on?
no, our
Oh,
reigning champ.
Christina.
Because I need to bring back the segment. It's not me, it's you. Because
I forgot
Christina's
we did
team is
that.
not her. It's mine.
Oh,
Christina's team is mine. My picks were in
Go
before,
off, Queen.
and all of a sudden, Christina's team looks awfully familiar to the ST Divas. So I just need it to be known
it's
that
spreading.
my
It's
team is
spreading.
infecting the league.
Well, you know, she did say, I believe that your sister did give her advice this week. So
So
And
yes,
that's going to
and
come up
Megan
in my
did.
segment, so everyone just
Yeah,
better shut their mouth.
Megan did unfortunately. Yeah, leave it to Megan. But
Leave it to Beaver.
I would like to bring that segment back. It is not me, it's you, Christina. It's you, dog. Like, come on now. I know the strat was
Come
we're
on,
gonna pick
dog.
one person. We know we picked one person that Megan thought was great. We picked another person that Pat thought was great. That's gonna be my team. And now all of a sudden we're picking me. I mean, granted, it could work to your advantage. My team is sitting very pretty in fifth, but just let it be known, it was my team first.
All right, and that was the season standings. Let's go into the weekly awards. The weekly awards this week. Let's start with Have the Numbers. Have the Numbers is the award that goes to the top 3 earners of the episode. And we used to have ties, but now that we have consistency metrics, I'm using consistency to be the tiebreaker for the weekly award, so I don't have to keep reformatting my spreadsheet. So, Have the Numbers, the top 3 earners of the league for the episode are Kelsey, with 18.5 points for her tribe. V, who her tribe scored 17.5 points. And Kyla, who scored 17 points this week.
Heck yeah.
Very impressive weeks
Very impressive
for being that early on.
Opposite situation, the bottom of the tribe. The lowest 3 point earners of the week, and this, I believe, did also come down to a tiebreaker between who was most consistent in terms of earning the least points. Excuse me, were Mulcahy and Nora both earned 8 points this week. Not a shock. They only had 2 people on their tribe. That's their fault. And Brian, with Redemption Island, only scored 10 points this week. Not great.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, well,
And he had such a strong start, didn't he?
What?
He didn't have I say a strong start. Better than dead last, which was what last year. So the bar was low going into week 1, but
yeah, I would. So 10 points. He had a good week 1. So again, this is just week to week. This doesn't
just
mean
for the
that
week
his
to week.
tribe's
So
bad. It
I
just
just
means
hope he
this
doesn't.
week,
For his sake, he doesn't want to have just one good week. He got to bring it up a little bit.
Well, on that theme, let's talk about consistency. So the consistency metric, or the CV, the coefficient of variance, I will not get into the calculation, but is basically a measure of week to week how consistent your tribe is on the total episode score. The more weeks we go on, the more data it has, so it becomes more accurate. It's what we use as a tiebreaker. It can be good or bad. You can be really consistent but be bad, or inconsistent but end up at the top. In this case, our most consistent player of the season so far is Nora, with Mike White's pepperoni nipples. She actually has a CV of 0, which means she scored the exact same amount of points this week as last week. Now, that did land her in last place, so I would think this is not an award she wants. But
question for you, Pat.
Yes.
The consistency metric, how many decimals are we going out to this season?
I'm going to 3.
3.
Well,
Okay.
hold on. I have displayed on my screen right now 3, but I will go out as far as I need to
As you
actually
need
break
to.
the
Okay.
tie.
Because that's what I was just gonna say is like I feel like last time we had like people with the same like when it was only to the 1,000th.
Right. No, no, no. I'm going out to, I think in the actual leaderboard spreadsheet,
Yep.
I'm out to 4 decimal places.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can just keep going out as needed. Least consistent, which again could be good if you had a bad start. Least consistent is Kayla. With easy as, I assume that's binary for pi. I don't know. I will not look it up. But she has been the least consistent of the season. Again, it's only 2 episodes, so that'll change probably dramatically as we go. Now, we haven't gotten a full one from Jeff yet, but that's how you do it on Survivor.
Let's go! Let's go!
Goes out to Kelsey and V, who climbed the most spots on the leaderboard this week. They both climbed 8 spots. Good job to them. And likewise, who dropped the most spots? I am taking your Flint. Pat Mulcahy dropped 8 spots. Sorry, 8 spots would
14.
not be that bad. He dropped 14 spots.
Is this a record?
It might be, but again, it's episode 2, so it's like, and there's more
got
people in the
time, yeah.
league than there ever has been. So I don't know about all that. But those are the awards. All right. That brings us to everybody's favorite segment of the show, Bree's Superlatives. Take it away, Bree.
Well, it was quite the episode.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was quite the day. I don't know what to do with that photo, Greg.
This
Thank
was
you.
what the AI inspired, right? This is what it was using, I'm assuming.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, that's wild. There's a
This is
photo
why
of
he
Pat
forgot to
Mulcahy.
pick his
insulin
pick his
levels.
tribe, I think.
Yeah, there's a picture of Pat Mulcahy and 4 beers, just
pouring down his
schwasty.
shirt.
Yeah.
Is it drool?
This week,
Sorry, Bree, go ahead.
this week we have 3 superlatives coming at you. You're gonna know why. First and aforementioned is the Drop Your Buffs award for Christina. And I'll tell you why she gets this award. While she was consulting all of our Survivor gurus in the league, including Megan, about who she should pick, Megan was explaining to her, like there's going to be a tribe swap. So then we'll get some new people in new places. So they might have a better position in the tribes. And Christina said, wait, they swap tribes? So your Drop Your Buff award this week goes to Christina for not realizing that people change places in this game. And we love to see it. We love a moment of just new learning in the game. But
And
Christina
also-
learned about tribe swaps.
And also not realizing that we'll find out if you're asking people questions.
Oh, for sure. We know all. We know
Oh
all.
boy. That's perfect, Greg.
Oh
This
my
is actually
goodness.
perfect for the next superlative. There's been a lot of drama on the island this week. There's been a lot of drama in the group chat this week. And our very own AI Assailant Award goes to Greg for causing drama
Absolute
in
mayhem.
the group. Ferrets, mugshots, people kicking people's faces. It's all here.
I want you to know, I woke up to that first message, like few from Greg this morning, and he texted me and he said, "What'd you say?" You said, "I'm gonna turn us from 10s of viewers to 12s of viewers." And I said, "I don't know what bit you're doing, but I'm not gonna stop it." And then you immediately sent a message that said Bree and I were at an adoption event, and I had to jump in and be like, "No, no, 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 everyone,
For
no,
ferrets.
we're not."
For ferrets.
Oh man.
Okay, so our final superlative of the week after seeing the leaderboard.
That smile
And
is
after talking
haunting.
about lots of poop related topics, the silent but deadly award goes to Tristan for not being here in the chat, not making any noise during the group me experience, but silently taking first place and cutthroating almost everyone on this page from the podium. So we don't like that. So Tristan, you get the silent but deadly award. We didn't see you coming, but we sure smelt you as you took on first place.
That's funny.
What? Whoa.
I don't
That's pretty
know, Tristan.
legendary.
So
Did you ad-lib that? Was that off the cuff?
that was off the cuff, yeah.
That's
Wow.
great. Wow, good job, Bree.
Here to slit throats like Rizzo.
Sorry.
Slit throat. Cut
Isn't
throats.
that what he
and win
said?
cuts.
Oh,
Cut
cut.
throats. Cut throats.
I'm not here to do camp life, people.
He said, I'm not here to play camp.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of whatever this has been. So it's time for confessionals. Let's go around the Zoom. What's the last couple things you want to say here? Mikey, do you want to kick us off?
So really, I mean, the biggest thing for me is I do think that if it is true that we are tribe swapping, then Ozzy and Sari are screwed. That is my confessional, because I think that so far seeing the trend, I don't want to call it trend, but I don't know if anyone's noticed that Kyle and Savannah, boom boom, D might be next. The winners, the new era winners are unfortunately going really quick. So I don't know.
Was the woman who's famous for targeting winners.
Right. So I do think that Ozzy and Sari, unfortunately, are going to be a little bit in hot water, because I think that the newbies are going to try to flip it because they don't want to see a trend of all the new era survivors getting ousted. So I think that the oldies, the golden oldies, as Matt, my brother, would put it, need to be on high alert in these next couple episodes.
Well said. All right. Greg?
I'm a little nervous about a tribe swap because I had someone on every single tribe, which I thought was an advantage instead of having someone on, two people on one tribe. But now having picked up Joe, which again I'm not super confident about.
A tribe swap could be good for him, though.
I think that's the only positive I can take away from this.
It gets him out of hot water.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, Kyla.
Yeah, I think the same. I have one person on every tribe, so I'm a little nervous about tribe swap, but what I'm excited to see about is that boomerang idol and whether people will end up on a tribe with the person they gave the boomerang, and whether that will form an alliance or whether they'll try and boot them, or, I'm excited about that. And I also just have one other general note that I don't know why it's like suddenly popular for all the men to just walk around in their underwear, but can we please bring back wearing bathing suit bottoms? Thank you.
Old school. Very old school.
I know, I don't like it. I mean, I like some of it, but I don't like all of it. So then just, you know what I mean?
What do you
some
like,
of them
Kyla?
I'll keep.
Kyle's gone, so there's no one's butt left to see. The good butts are out.
I think Q might have a nice one.
And that is coming from this week's pod pervert of the episode.
That's right.
She's from the peach state, everyone. Leave her alone. She's just talking about peaches.
Kyla's caked up peach of the week. I'm thinking
oh no.
Next week it's gonna be Q.
On that note, I have a request, which is when we post this episode, that the photo of Pat looking mouth agape and me looking mischievous is alongside the link. And
maybe the icon of the app.
Thumbnail.
No, I can't do that.
Thumbnail.
Thumbnail.
Well, I can, but I won't.
You should.
Should.
I think that's one of the three of us.
Kyla's like, I'm in.
Would you prefer that or the ferret picture?
The one where we look like I look like a California raisin and Brie looks like the Cheshire cat.
I've never had such a big mouth. As a tiny mouth girl, it's really that's the largest mouth I've ever seen on myself.
The funniest part to me is the little sticker on the window that just says ferret adoption.
I didn't notice that till this
didn't
round.
even
No,
notice
the best
that.
part is the woman just enjoying her meal in the background
Oh,
while
off in the
ferrets
distance.
are everywhere.
And it's an
Oh,
empty restaurant other than that singular woman.
Well, yeah,
that's
because
right.
no one would sit around us with all those ferrets.
No, it's true.
Which
Avoid
brings
you.
me to the end of my notes. One is I feel a crash out coming, whether it's from me and the ferrets or for someone on the island. I feel a crash out coming.
We
And
haven't gotten to
two,
use the breakdown alert yet.
Aubrey
that's right.
first.
I would love to see it. And
Aubrey is top on the list.
maybe next week we'll do our episode live from PetSmart while we adopt a couple ferrets.
Love that.
Yeah, we will not, but good thoughts. All right. One thing I forgot to bring up, which is my confessional. If we're tracking the curse like we were last season, we're 0 for 2. The curse is 0 for 2. Last week, Mike White said the episode title, and nothing happened to him. And this week, Christian said he was on a therapy carousel, which is the episode title, and he was fine. His tribe was not, and he was very involved in the drama of the scramble, but no one
Well, it
involved in that
wasn't good luck for
drama.
his pants.
No one involved in that drama went
Uh-oh.
home. So next week the episode title is, this is how we know there's a swap coming. Next week the episode title is "Did you vote for a swap?" So that's the only thing that could happen. So we'll be on the lookout while you're watching for that. This has been The League Has Spoken, episode 20. That's it. Try not to poop your pants, everybody. Bye.